I think I tagged you in it. I'm trying to invite people. That picture always kills me, bro. My mama thought I was a joke. But Miss Madu told me I'm gone. Yeah, I'm gone. Yeah, I'm gone. Miss Madu told me and I know where you can't take me nothing else. That's why every beat I'm on is wonder and I make up flips. Don't lie, I love the joke, but that don't equal. I'm just inviting everybody. Come on. So I need more than kudos and a high five. Cause I went from sidelines to the limelight. And I shine bright eyes, cold bars, Klondike. And I never. See, I hate that I can't invite. So it doesn't, did it go to your,
No, I'm about to go, and I'm about to share it to the fan page now.
Okay. I invited some people. Hello, good morning.
I can sing. Nope, I had to share it.
You have to share it. It's there. Good morning. Is it still morning? It is.
Yes, technically.
Hey, Dale. She got to tune in. I love this song.
I do too. Morning, good morning.
Cause I maneuver through the doodle like a bottle of metal mucil in a body that's used to being constipated. And most consumers they view me as a woman like myself.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
morning. We are in November and we're back with another episode of the Miseducation of Senae and Ashley. We have a lot to provide you guys with today, a lot of insight, a lot of opinions, and we're gonna jump right into it. Before we get started with our flunkies, we do want to give y'all some insight on some things that are going on in the community that we felt like y'all need to know about. Oh, that's good. You're no longer on nice. That's good. But we have some information that we wanted to inform you guys of. Just some things going on in the world that aren't getting the media attention that they should. And we need to spread the word. So the first subject that we wanted to go over was Danye Jones.
The lynching
and murder of Danye Jones in Missouri. His mother is Melissa McKinney, who is a activist, a Ferguson activist, and she found her son hanging from a tree in her backyard. The cops have ruled it a suicide and are not doing any further investigation into the hanging of Danye Jones. And that is Danye. He is very handsome. He's a very handsome young man, and
24 years old.
I happen to believe he was lynched.
His mom posted, "Hey Janelle," he says, his mother said that, she said there was no signs, no indication that he would have done it. She released the photos of his body that have now been taken off of social media. You can still find it. You can still find some of those images on Google and stuff.
Yeah,
it just doesn't. It doesn't look right.
We looked at it, and he was hanging by a bed sheet from a tree in his mother's backyard. Now, what also makes this situation and case high priority is that a lot of the Ferguson activists have been coming up dead or missing
since the Mike Brown killing.
And they ruled, they
ruled
ruled this a suicide.
There was no note, there was nothing.
There was no note left. There are no signs of depression or mental instability. And they have ruled this a suicide. And the cops have further elaborated to Mrs. McKinney's that they will not be investigating her son, who was hanging from her tree. And they say it's a suicide, and that's that. Now, I happen to think that there may be some type of cover-up going on. The cops may be in on it.
The government,
Something's going on for the cops to just be like, that's a suicide. We're not doing any investigation into it, and that's it. Well, they are investigating it, but they're investigating it as a suicide.
Not a homicide.
Not a homicide, a suicide. And this is why we have to be aware of our surroundings. Things like this are done to silence people who speak out against injustice, any type of injustice, political, racial, social, any type of injustice. But don't let this silence you guys. It won't silence me, but we need to let our voices be heard, because this should be looked into as a homicide, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they murdered him. And that's what they do with people that speak out like that. Oh, wow. Because she's in St. Louis. So
oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
It's crazy. Just keep the family, uplifted. And hopefully, his mom is pretty tough. So I think she's going to keep pushing for some answers. And so we'll keep you guys informed as we're informed.
Yep.
We're speaking on Danye Jones, Ferguson activist. His mother actually released photos of his body being lynched in her front yard.
Backyard,
in the backyard this past week. Correct?
This past week, she walked out and found her son hanging from a bed sheet in her backyard on a tree. And the police are saying that it's a suicide. They're only going to investigate it as a suicide. This is in Missouri. And
in the Ferguson area, and there's been a lot of Ferguson activists who have
missing. They're coming
or dead.
Yeah, you haven't heard about it because they're investigating it as a suicide. Yeah, now, if it was legitimate, if they investigated it as a legitimate lynching, then we would hear more about it. But
maybe because
they're minimizing what's happening by calling it a suicide. And I just happen to believe that's not what's going on. So, we need to let our voices be heard, and hopefully, Mrs. McKinney's stays strong. It looks like she's been very firm with her words, with the the investigators and the police department, and she's telling them that they better start turning in on their folks, because that was her son, y'all.
Right, and then, like you said, he's not the first activist to come up dead in the Ferguson area.
A lot of Ferguson activists, I remember they found one shot dead in his car.
In the head.
Yep.
A couple of them.
Yep,
so just spread the word. If you see anything on Facebook, share. Yeah, let people know, because like you said, Courtney, a lot of people haven't heard about it. Especially
media
in the
attention.
South, there's been no media attention at all. And like you said, the mother posted photos of her son.
She had to post the photos on Facebook, and she said, please share.
And they've been taking it down.
And they've been deleting the photos. But I think it's gotten enough attention to where at least people are able to back her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, you need to look further into this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so that's very important, y'all. Keep up with that. That's in Missouri. We also wanted to touch back on Amber Geiger in Dallas PD. She's still being charged with manslaughter. It has not been up to a homicide or anything. And you haven't heard anything about this case. Dallas PD just seems to drop the ball on a lot of these cases. Arlington PD too, with the O'Shea Terry case, they released the name of the officer who killed O'Shea Terry, but he's still on payroll. So.
And as far as the Amber Geiger case goes, there's nothing that has been done really in the past month. The family has filed a civil lawsuit that went through this past week, like on the 26th, and that's about it. Other than that, I don't think there's, I mean, she hasn't been in front of a jury to plead. I mean, I haven't heard, other than that was it. That's the only thing I heard. The family has filed a civil suit.
She out living her life. She's living her life. And another thing about Dallas PD that came about this week, we actually got access to the video that showed the murder of Genevieve Dawes. She's 21 years old. She was killed by Dallas PD. They shot a bunch of rounds into the car, and this was over 18 months ago, and they just now releasing the video.
So we talking about the beginning of last year,
yeah,
beginning of 2017.
Yeah,
and they're just now releasing it. That was the police chief,
Renee Hall and Faith Johnson, and I see a lot of people saying to reelect these people, and it's a no-go for me.
And if you're in Dallas County and you haven't voted, you know, early voting ended on Friday. Tuesday is the general day to go vote. So, I mean, if that's something that you would like to do, as a lot of people said they don't believe in it, you know, if you don't, that's on you. But if you
don't complain.
Right. I mean, if you do, Dallas County, Tarrant County, I mean, Collin County, Ellis County, whatever county you're in, go vote on Tuesday.
Yes.
General election day.
Make your voice heard. Go vote. And no matter how long the line is.
Right.
Go ahead and prepare yourself to vote.
Right. You want to touch on the sexual assault?
Yeah. We also wanted to inform the community that there is a suspect wanted in Dallas. I forgot to pull up the little sketch. All they have is a sketch of him. But there's a suspect wanted in Dallas for 3 confirmed sexual assaults. And what he is doing is he is going door to door, and he's knocking on the door. And if you're a woman and you're opening the door, he's asking for donations and then forcing his way into the home. So again, we have to be very mindful of, you know, who's at our front door, who we're opening the door for. Also, there's a lot of sex trafficking going on.
Yes,
watch your back. Watch what you're doing. Don't be looking down in your phone and stuff when you're pumping gas or at the store, grocery store, anything like that. Just be mindful of your surroundings and what is going on, because you may not know it, but there may be people there watching you, exactly, preying on you, and then when you go back to your car, you may come up missing.
Yeah, so, this is in that sexual assault that's been in
Dallas area.
Yeah, so if you're in Dallas, just be mindful. You know, like she said, if somebody's knocking on the door, it's a male for sure. The sketch was a male. I couldn't tell. Maybe I think I seen the sketch. He might have been a black male. I couldn't tell though, cause like
he looks small. I mean,
because they didn't really have any. I didn't see anything like a
dimensions
as far as like height, weight, and all that stuff. So just be mindful, women. You know, if you can get some mace. I don't know. I'm about to get some mace.
I'll use anything. I'll use anything as a weapon.
You have it on you. No, really.
I'll use anything as a weapon. You get killed with some keys.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Okay.
And so we just want to throw that news out there. So we're gonna start with our flunkies now.
Yes, we
our real flunkies.
We're ready for our real flunkies now. So let me get to that. Okay.
And y'all already know. I don't even know what week we on. Week 6, 7, 8. I don't know. Football. We gonna go with like we on football time. We were week 7. And, you know, the first flunky we always have on here is going to be number 45.
Donald Trump.
He never fails. He never fails. Every week he comes with something different.
And you know what? He's been in the week. He's been in the headlines for so many things this week. It's just
ridiculous.
It's just crazy. And then the other day he was like, what did he say about black people? He said,
we were too dumb to vote
something
for him.
Leaked saying that black people are too dumb to vote for him.
Yes. But that's not even why he made the list. That's not even why he put him on the list.
Exactly. The reason why he made the list, he did an interview and he's talking about signing an executive order to end and remove birthright citizenship. This was,
which is basically, if I'm not mistaken, because we talked about I moved undergrad was a long time ago, but anchor babies. So people who come in where people who aren't citizens of the United States, they have babies. Their babies are citizens because they are born here.
Exactly.
He's trying to take away those children's rights.
Exactly. And he said we're the only country in the world where a person comes in and has a baby, and the baby is essentially a citizen of the United States for 85 years with all those benefits.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And
it has to end.
That's y'all president.
That's y'all president right there. First of all, what is all these benefits he talking about? What is this? Maybe you could
please tell me, because
what is all these benefits he talking about?
This country was built. It blows your mind because the foundation of this country, the country was built on immigrants to begin with, and to hear him say stuff like, it's just like, come on now, bro.
Yeah, it makes no sense, and I just need to know what these benefits are.
I want to know what the benefits are, but you know, the saddest part of it is, I could see them removing the rights of these anchor babies. Yeah, like it might go through, just like the wall and all this other stuff that he's been trying to pass. The Republicans in the House and the Senate and stuff have been agreeing upon. So don't be surprised.
Don't be surprised
if you start seeing stuff like that and people.
What is he trying to say though? Is he saying that because
basically
they aren't worthy of being Americans?
What he's basically saying is you're not a citizen either because your parents aren't. That's what I'm taking from it. Like, why would I let you stay here if your parents are illegal immigrants? That means you're one too, even though you were born on this soil. You know what I'm saying? So he's basically saying, like, just because you were born here, you're born into illegal immigrants, then y'all all need to go. That's what I'm taking from it.
I need him to be more specific.
Please advise Donald Trump if I'm wrong.
Per my last email.
Please advise.
No, but serious, I need him to elaborate when he says benefits, because maybe I missed out on something 30 years.
We probably won't have Social Security.
Exactly.
In our lifetime.
Exactly.
So, I don't know, child.
What are these benefits? Because if he's talking about reparations, he needs to back pay me.
Run me my money. He also made a statement about using deadly force at the border.
Oh, talking about they throwing rocks.
Yeah, he said he's now taking that statement back. He's retracted it. But he did initially say that they were going to use deadly force at the border for people
Do you remember last week when I said he needs to understand that his words are influencing people because he's the president? When he said that if you throw rocks, that is an act of violence and we can shoot you in return. Do you know the Nigerian army actually shot some people for throwing rocks at them, and they retweeted what Donald Trump said? That's what I'm talking about. So you be saying stuff and thinking that people aren't listening, people aren't taking heed, but they are.
They are, and then you get mad, like the Pittsburgh synagogue shooter.
Man,
like stuff like that. Then
which rolls into and then the bomber too. The bomber told Caesar Sayoc. He told the investigators that Donald Trump is like a father to him.
And then you guys wonder why we made that statement about Kanye saying that the Make America Great Again had made him feel like Superman, because
you have to watch what you say.
You have to watch what you say. And that rolls us into our next flunky, which is Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who
sounded like Elmer Fudd.
Goodbye. She tried to, shame the media for blaming Trump for the mail bombings and the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting, because his words do influence. When you have that kind of platform, your words do influence certain people. A lot of people, whether you think it does or not. And so we put her on the flunky list for actually trying to accuse the media of twisting it. No, there's nothing twisted up about it. If you guys don't know who Sarah Huckabee is, she is
press secretary.
Their girl, and child, she's aging.
Look at her.
That is her. You've probably seen her.
Ooh.
If you keep up with stuff, you've seen her picture before. You know who she is.
And
it's just flunky, bro. Like
she's deflecting. That's what she's doing. She's deflecting the blame from Trump, as she always does. She does it every day. And then they blame the media. They say fake news and all this stuff. But he need, like I said last week, he needs to take accountability because them words are turning to action now.
Yeah, they are. And you can't be surprised when people go through with some of this stuff. You can't.
You can't, because you up there speaking that rhetoric.
Yeah, in rallies.
You're still rallying like you're not the president.
Like, child, goodbye.
So, I don't know.
They make me
sick.
Trump. They make me sick. They really do.
Trump, Sarah, all y'all. Ooh, child.
F's. Sick of it.
F plus.
Our next flunky, Southpark Susan,
child,
who just turned herself in. And if you guys aren't familiar with Southpark Susan, I'll let you do
Southpark Susan, aka Miss Westwood, she was actually harassing two black women waiting on a tow truck, and she told them that she's white and she's hot and she makes $125,000 a year. What are you doing here? Basically, is what she said. Let me see if this gonna play, because we got a little clip right here.
Child. In their apartment complex.
Hold on.
Lord, this internet.
It ain't working.
Yes.
So they were in an apartment complex and waiting on a tow truck, and she just comes up to them like they're not supposed to be there, and just starts going off.
Yeah, with her phone.
Cause she's white and she's hot. I'm gonna play this clip for y'all in a minute, but
she just turned herself in.
She did get fired.
Yeah,
she did get fired.
Her job fired her, and she turned herself in after the rent. And she went missing for like 2 or 3 days. Like they
$25,000 a year, and I want to make sure that you're all up in here. Girl, I got you, girl. I'm white. I'm girl. White. I'm girl. White. I'm white. I got you, girl. Hey, how are you? I'm hot. I'm beautiful. I'm 51. What are we going to talk about tonight? Being hot, being beautiful, being white, being my new weave.
Why do you feel you need to be in outer space?
Well, I live here and I pay rent. I pay almost $1,100.
And so does she.
Okay.
Don't talk to her, please don't, because I don't know.
What's going on?
Okay, I don't know, but we can call 911 to find out.
That's cool. Is your boyfriend here? Is your baby daddy here? Nobody cares. I'm white and I'm hot. I'm white and I'm hot. So what are you doing here?
I don't know, but we're going to see you in court Monday morning.
Okay, all right. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, great. I got you too, baby. I got you, baby. I got you. This is Myers Park. This is Myers Park.
Turn her off.
Good.
Now, she do look good for 51. I didn't think she was 51. That could be the camera.
Y'all.
But she said...
I'm white and I'm hot. And I make $125,000 a year. But now she's fired. And then she went missing for a couple days.
And she has turned herself in this morning.
Y'all got to stop harassing people for no reason.
And then the stereotypes that she was throwing up.
Is my weave.
Is your baby daddy living? Does he live over here?
And then she talking about she pay $1,100 a month. Like that's a lot or something. Girl, get out of here. We got people paying $1,100 a month that don't make $50,000. Okay? So go on.
And then did you hear the women like, I don't know what she's doing, but we'll see you in court. And this is the restraint that people have to take in situations like this. But yeah, child, the ghetto. Cause no. And then she had her camera up too. Like that's when she was like, I got you, baby.
Girl.
I got you, girl. I got you,
girl. I might weave. I got you, girl. No, I would have smacked that thing out.
That's what she gets. Bruh, I just pray that does not happen to
Exactly, because these people are, like we said last week, they are having so much restraint, and they're just, being the better person, being the bigger person, and it's like, I just can't.
I can't do that.
I don't think
you could tell she was obviously drunk. Like, she was inebriated. Like, she was, like, gone off her behind. It could be the camera. No, that's what I said. I was like, it could be the camera because 50. But I will. She dyed her hair. She didn't look 51. I will say that. When I seen the original clip, I thought
she looked. Her clothes didn't look 51.
And that could have been, you know, with the
it was dark outside.
Yeah, because I was like 51. But at that age, it's crazy because somebody at 51, regardless, you know, people are who they are.
Yeah.
But at that age, you would think like a 51-year-old wouldn't be saying, I'm hot and I'm
you know what I'm
saying?
I'm
white and I'm hot. Like, that's whack. She's whack. She's lame.
I would have gotten her feelings. I was like, no, you're ugly.
You're Asian.
Your attitude is ugly.
You're Asian horribly, Susie.
No, Southpark.
But she turned herself in. So, Miss Westwood.
She turned herself in today after she was missing. I'd like to know where she was missing. Like, where
were you at, sis?
Were you missing, like,
where were
missing? Or were you at the house
trying
to wait it out?
Trying to see if it was going to die down. And it didn't. And you on here this week, flunky.
Ooh, child. The next white person.
Girl, I almost forgot about
her name. I wish we could pull up a
Deborah
picture.
Cantwell.
You think you could pull it up?
I can. You can tell
so they can see how miserable this chick is. Her name is Deborah Cantwell. She's from Indiana. And like we said, Miss Westwood was 51. Deborah Cantwell is 63.
Trash.
She writes a letter to her new neighbors saying this is a white neighborhood and calls their child nigger, N-word.
So, like she said, she wrote a letter, told that they didn't need to move into the neighborhood, that they don't want N-word kids in the neighborhood. They hadn't moved into the house yet. They actually had came back to prepare to move into the house when they found their house TP'd, toilet papered and stuff with the note there. And I'm not sure if they have like actual not clips, but actual.
Oh, they have what she wrote on the note.
Yeah, I was gonna say because girl, and we're not sure if the parents. The assumption to me, I'm not sure if the parents are black or not because they never even stated like if maybe the child was adopted.
The parents are white.
Yeah, because it's a black child, but the parents might be white. This is Miss.
This is Deborah Cantwell. Look at her.
Look at her mugshot.
She got the
mugshot. And do you know that the reason why she said that she wrote the letter was because her family had been abused by black people when she was younger, and it caused trauma to her when she seen the black child, when she seen the people looking at the house. It took her back, and so she felt like they didn't need to move in.
That picture took me down, girl.
Sad, just
girl.
Pathetic.
She got the Forrest Whitaker eye and all that. But she said the letter. This is what the letter says. We moved here, and this is in caps, all caps. You know you serious when it's in caps. We moved here to a white town, all white neighborhood for health reasons, among other things. This is our forever home. We cannot afford to move. Besides, this is my dream home, and we have been here a very long time. It also added that the family should have considered the neighbors before bringing that child in the area. This is not something that you should send. Why do you feel entitled to do that at all?
That's the crazy part.
What the fuck is going on here?
Like, today just been a mess. I just can't deal with today, last night, this weekend, this week, these people, this stuff in the house. I just can't do it. I can't do nobody.
We've had a long week.
Long weekend. And if I see the letter, we should have considered the neighbors.
The neighbors.
I honestly don't know how they put two and two together that it was
consider neighbors when they moving in somewhere.
Nobody care about y'all. This was actually in Indiana. So this is up in the Midwest. And she said she really didn't feel bad about it. She literally, like I said, she stuck with, she's had trauma with black people in the past. And it just seeing the child took her back. A kid. The child itself. So, Deborah, we'll see what you get in court, child, whatever. Sad self looking like that. I don't even know.
I just the lazy eye that killed me. Oh my goodness.
Next flunky.
Next, and we not gonna go. The next flunky is Kanye West. Last week, Kanye West says he'll be taking a break from politics. He feels like he's being used as a pawn. And this is after, the Blexit shirts. And for those who don't know what Blexit means, that means the black exit from Democrats, from the Democrat side of everything. Basically transitioning to Republican. And it was said that he had actually partnered with this Candace lady to make them shirts and that he fully supported it. And then he tried to come back and say
he had nothing to do with it.
He didn't have nothing to do with it. He's being used, and now he's going to take a break from politics.
And stick to music.
Well,
and that's it. That's all.
I think he dug himself a real hole. Like, seriously. Because personally, I don't want him back.
Right. Like I told one of my homegirls that has a podcast, she touched on it in her podcast. If you gonna stick with something, stick with it. That was my biggest thing. Like, don't be lukewarm. For people who are, that are familiar with the Bible, Jesus tells his disciples about being lukewarm. When you're being in the world, half in the world, half in, secular.
Right. Be all in.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not taking this to a religious standpoint, but I'm just saying you can't be lukewarm in what you believe in or what you say. Either you're going to go with one side or the other. You can't really, when it comes to stuff like this, you can't really be in the middle no more. Because, like, now you're flip-flopping. Like, bro, now you had so many people that was rocking with you on this other side. He really did. He had a lot of people that was trying to be open-minded about what he was saying and going with it. And now you're flip-flopping, so now you're going to have this crowd. Like, well, then what do I do?
He proved everybody right. I mean, he proves the people that said that he was, going through some things and that he needed to be...
He shouldn't even
disposed of.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if we're going to take you to the picnic. So I think you might
we could take him to the king. He could take him to the king. We could do that.
Next.
Next. Okay. Our next flunky is 21-year-old. Sorry. Our next flunky is Brandon Acuna.
He is 21. Huh?
He is 21. 21-year-old Brandon Acuna. This guy. He shot Navy sailor Curtis Adams. Curtis Adams pulled up to help who he thought was a stranded motorist, who was Brandon Acuna. And it turns out that Brandon Acuna was actually trying to steal the car. He didn't need help. He wasn't stranded, but he was actually trying to steal the car. So when Navy sailor Curtis Adams walked up on him, he shot him dead. And he's so handsome, and you could tell he had a really bright future. Like once looking into his story and everything, and it's just sad. Like, you pull over,
you're trying to do the
right thing. It looks like they need help, and he's actually still in the car.
Prayers out to his family.
And his girlfriend was with him. She was in the car. He got out the car to help dude.
That's why I used to be that kind of person. Like, if I seen somebody, I would want to help. But these days, you can't even do it. You really take a risk doing stuff like that.
Driving.
Yeah, you got to keep going or call 911.
And my thing is, you could call 911
and let them know the general area you're in and let them do their job. But, because these days, you just never know. You just don't. I sure hate that for Brandon. I hope they throw you under the jail.
And he actually shot somebody like minutes before.
Oh, so that wasn't the only...
That wasn't the only person that he shot. But he shot somebody like minutes before he tried to steal his car. And, yeah.
Yeah, prayers out for them, man. It's just crazy.
Very crazy.
Next flunky.
Next flunky.
We got quite a few
flunkies this week.
Had a page full of flunkies.
Oh my God. Week. So our next flunky is Debbie Cox. Deborah Cox. I call her Debbie like I know her. Deborah Cox. She is a Ford County clerk in Kansas. And she is being accused of voter suppression, kind of like what's going on in Georgia and some places in Florida. She's being accused of voter suppression because she sent a mailing. You know how you mail out paper? She sent a mailing out to the people of Overland Park, Kansas, and it basically told them the wrong voting poll. It told them the wrong voting poll, and she also decided to move the city's only voting location outside of the city limits.
How you do that? How you do that?
I don't know. But she's done that, and in response, the ACLU is actually taking her to court, and there's a lawsuit that is pending right now. And they only have one voting location, and this is for 13,000 people. And she moves it outside of the city limits.
I just, you know what? I don't understand how they can get away with stuff for so long. I mean,
I don't either. And you know how that like, what about your poor people that want to vote, your people who don't have the means to get outside of city limits and things like that, which
why would you take it outside the city?
So you're going to take it outside of the city limits so you
can,
know
that those people can't,
that the people you want to vote is going to vote.
In 2018, we are still seeing this.
Crazy. Debbie Cox,
trash,
expelled.
Straight dumpster juice, bro. God, like these folks, I be trying not to go. It's funny because we were having a conversation about how we go about the flunkies and like some way, like how we discuss them, and we try our hardest to make sure that when we're speaking on this, we're educated, and when we're telling you guys, we give you guys facts, we give our opinion, but we give it in a sensible place, because really the way that we really want to go about it, like when we're talking about this and the passion and the anger and the stuff that we feel about it, bro, I can't even.
We can't even go in like this.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it shouldn't even be. It's 2018. It just feels like we didn't get in 100 years, 50 to 75 years. We'll say that. I mean, we ain't. It don't seem like we've got that far.
Derek said he thought we was talking about the city.
Hold on, why was I about to start asking how did you get here?
That's probably what she was saying. How did you get here? How did you get to the voting poll?
How did you get to the voting polls, honey? I thought the same thing.
I should have said Debbie Cox. Debbie. I should have said Debbie.
Definitely said Deborah, bro.
We're gonna call it Debbie.
I'm done.
Next flunky.
Who was that? USA Today? They the flunky? Or the people that
45% of Americans are, well, let's say the people who took this poll are pretty much flunkies.
Yes.
45% of them are flunkies.
Which is out of 2,000 people. So
2,000 people are flunkies. 2,000 Americans
are flunkies that took a USA Today poll and stated that they felt that NBC was too harsh on axing Megyn Kelly.
So if you were tuned in last week, you know that we actually condemned Megyn Kelly for making those blackface comments on live TV.
And NBC was like,
they was like deuces. So she fired now, right? Somehow they want to take a poll to see if it was okay to fire her. And 45% of these 2,000 people, 45% equating to 2,000 people believe that it was too harsh to fire her for her blackface comments. Are y'all kidding me? And let me break it down for y'all. 6% said that Kelly's comments gave them a much more favorable outlook of her. 48% said her comments makes no difference to them at all. 29% said speculation that NBC had canceled her program gave them a somewhat less favorable or much less favorable to view the network.
How many people take polls? How many people get when you're online and you see some type of survey up on a website you're on? How many people take that? God honest truth. when I get bored, I might. That's a big might. But how many people do you know that actually sit on there and take polls? Like, you get what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
we speaking from a black perspective, but I think if you was white and you're upset about Megyn Kelly being fired, you're definitely going to take the poll and express your anger or whatever about it.
I'm sure out of the 2,000 people that they said took the poll, if they did a breakdown of the different ethnicities,
they sure did that.
It's not very even. So
they should have did that. But this is troubling. This is troubling because this means the people that we work with, people that, you know, claim they're our friends and, you know, that we think are good people behind the scenes are taking these polls and supporting Megyn Kelly.
See, I don't. Most people don't take those polls. And when they do these kind of samples, you know, after they get their results, they place that as a blanket for an entire population.
Right.
So they
it's
say
only 2,000 people.
Yeah, 2,000 people, but they're going to have that go for the, I don't even know how many billions of people are in the United States. Right. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to blanket that as all of these people in the United States, and that's just not what it is. Whatever.
And only 26% of that population felt that canceling and firing her was appropriate.
Flunkies.
So that's that.
Our next flunky. The Pittsburgh synagogue suspect, shooter, we know that he did it, is actually pleading not guilty to the charges that he is facing in this tragedy, which I don't know how you would actually plead. He must be pleading not guilty due to insanity because you did it. Like, I'm not understanding why you're pleading not guilty.
We know you did it.
You don't.
We know you did it.
Yeah, and it didn't say just that he pled not guilty. It didn't say if he said due to insanity or what. I guess he might have just. I don't even want to take and it's crazy because he did this not guilty plea during. I mean, they've been having funerals and services all last week, and he did this plea during one of the services for some of the fallen victims.
So, was he in a wheelchair when he shot up the
synagogue?
synagogue?
I think maybe
they may have shot him
or something. Yeah.
Oh, but it's funny how he's still alive because they be shooting black people dead for nothing.
Child.
And all he got was a shot in a wheelchair.
We'll see how this go. They need to throw him under the jail as well. I can't in 2018. That's why I keep saying, because it's like the year doesn't matter because the stuff that's going on is just you're seeing it more and more. And this thing, I'm tired of this. Next, the Delta flight attendants. Delta flight attendants are our next flunkies this week. Child, I'll let you touch on that.
Delta flight. Who flies Delta? Anybody fly Delta?
They high.
I don't fly them.
We fly.
We fly anything.
Right, I barely fly America. They about as bad as them, but Delta, child, they always got something going on too. They right up there with United.
And y'all need to stop hating on Spirit because you ain't. Never mind. I ain't finna give y'all the keys because everybody always be like, you travel all the time. You do
but
this,
you know why? How we travel?
But then y'all be hating on Spirit Airlines, so you'll never go nowhere. How about that? How about that? So, Delta.
They all trash.
Delta flight attendants are flunkies. We had our beautiful Dr. Fatima Cody Stanford on the flight. Very beautiful. She's a MD. She's a doctor. And they had a medical emergency on the flight. And Dr. Fatima Cody tried to go help someone that was in need, and they asked her for her credentials. Are you even really a doctor?
This flight was going from Indianapolis, Indiana to Boston, and she was doing her due diligence, and they hounded her about it. And this is not the first time a person of color has been asked for their credentials while trying to help another passenger on a flight.
It's crazy, but she's been a doctor for over a decade. If somebody needs help, let the people help.
And it's sad that she actually said,
why does she have to be questioned?
It's crazy. She said, this is an actual quote from Dr. Stanford. I know I don't look the part, so I just carry it with my driver's license at all times, talking about her medical license.
Shouldn't have to do
In
that.
2018, she says she knows she doesn't look the part of a doctor. I guess what the image of what people think a doctor would look like. So she carries her credentials everywhere because she knows that this kind of stuff will happen to her. That's sad. You work hard. You go to school for 10 years for that?
She said the flight attendant glanced at it and walked away. Asked to see the license, and she too looked at it and walked away.
My thing is, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know these flight attendants. Y'all are flight attendants. How would you know if this was a legitimate medical license or not? I wouldn't be able to tell if I seen one in real life. You know what I'm saying? A legitimate... I wouldn't be able to tell a fake one from a real one. You feel me? Like,
right. And while y'all doing all this back and forth, somebody's in need.
Child, they don't care.
I'm not doing all this back and forth with you guys.
I ain't going back and forth with you. Because we
Flight
live
attendants.
Because we live in our best
We living
life.
our best life, and we trying to save lives. And y'all are hindering me right now.
Right, and I think Delta's president or somebody, they made a statement about doing the same thing. Was it like culture sensitivity training and all this other stuff that all these other companies said they're gonna do when stuff like this happens? So yeah, we'll probably see. Unfortunately, we'll probably see this kind of incident again, and when we do, they'll be on the flunky list, and y'all will see it on here. So, our next flunky is a Hartford, Connecticut police state trooper. I don't think they gave us a name, but
they don't never give the officer's name when they in the wrong. Oh, there we go. Larry Morello. So we have a black Republican candidate that was campaigning door to door. And she was a part-time campaign driver for Susan Bisowitz.
This is in Connecticut.
She's
in the Hartford region. And the state trooper, more than once, found this woman who was going door to door campaigning and told her that she needed a permit to campaign door to door.
He actually told her she needed a permit for peddling.
I don't even know what
So
that means.
he called it peddling, but no, she's campaigning just like everybody else is doing door to door. Just like Will Ferrell and them was doing, just like Oprah and them was doing. Come on now.
It's because of what she looked. I think she ended up. Did she call the police? That's how, or she just made. Because
I mean, this is state truth. You call them?
And she's a minister.
Ernestine
Holloway is who this happened to. This was last week. I just don't. You can't drive while black. You can't campaign while black. You can't go to the store while black. You
can't be a doctor
while black.
You can't wait on a tow truck
while black. You can't
walk. Can't be in your own apartment
while black. TV. You can't do anything while being black. It's just Like I said, the year don't even matter, bro. I don't know. It's just. Hopefully, they haven't did anything. They didn't say anything about.
They just released a statement condemning the state trooper. That's about it.
So, and I don't even know if he was on duty when the stuff happened. Maybe he was going home. Like, it didn't sound like it was.
The chairman of the Republican Party called for the state police to apologize.
What's an apology gonna do?
You're harassing me.
Yes, because he's done this to her more than once. Like, come on
You're harassing me. I don't want an apology. Don't be sorry. Be careful. Because you're going to catch the right one one day. Be
careful with me.
Okay, that's that.
That's that. And our last flunky, because I'm tired of being on this list.
Ooh, we got a lot of flunkies this week, y'all.
Our last flunky is 45 VP.
Vice President Mike Pence.
And if y'all don't know what he looks like, this is him. This is
Look at
y'all.
him.
This is y'all's vice president. He told Oprah, Will Ferrell, and other Hollywood celebrities that this ain't Hollywood, because you know that a lot of these celebrities are supporting Stacey Abrams in the she's running for
governor race
in Georgia.
This
ain't Hollywood. He forgets
this ain't Hollywood.
But he forgets that Oprah was a journalist. That Oprah started in this thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's Hollywood now, but this ain't Hollywood. Why are you worried about what the Georgia race is going? Like, why are you speaking on this? Like,
he need to tell Trump that the White House ain't Hollywood. How about that? You worry about what's going on in that White House and start worrying about what's going on down here in Georgia and worry about what needs to be priority.
Cause that don't make no sense. Like, and he was really adamant. He looked angry in that interview. Like this is Hollywood. This is the kind of stuff, and I don't know if y'all have seen this, heard about it. I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, people just be speaking that.
What are you speaking on this for?
Who cares?
Who cares? We got a whole bunch of other stuff to be worried about.
And you worried about celebrities that are backing somebody that they believe in. Just like you guys back people that y'all believe in. So what's the difference?
Exactly.
But that is the last of our flunkies for this week, because they are tired. They are tired.
Exhausting. But yeah, Mike Pence, Donald Trump, all y'all worry about what needs to happen, what is priority. Stop worrying about what Oprah and all them are doing.
Because it don't
worry about what's going on in the White House.
Because y'all got enough to worry about.
Y'all got enough. Y'all need to prioritize what y'all speaking on.
Exactly. Ain't saying anything to people who are backing them, but you guys say something to people who are backing the opponent. Come on now.
That's what they do. They like to tell people stuff like Kanye should have been told he shouldn't have been in the White House at all. But they like to tell LeBron to shut up and dribble.
And we're going to leave that at
They need to tell him to shut up and make music.
Because we're going to start with our first graduates of the week. Our graduate. And our first graduate
is Pharrell Williams.
Which is why we're playing this song. Because he actually had his lawyer send a cease and desist order to Donald Trump for playing Happy when he came out on stage at one of his recent rallies. Tell me that's not petty. Petty of the petty.
Petty. But what was Donald Trump doing coming out to a rally to this song?
I don't know.
Could you imagine Donald Trump? I want to see that on video.
Oh, how do you come out to Pharrell?
How you coming out, Donald Trump, walking out to, what are you happy about first?
I guess he was just happy to be there.
What are we happy about? Because I'm not happy with your performance,
right?
Trump.
And Chad, that's petty. That's the level of petty.
You need to send a cease and desist. Don't play my song.
Because who told you could? Who told you could? I love that petty.
Don't play my song.
That's why Pharrell don't age. That's why he a vampire. He's like 55 and he looks like he's 20.
You know what? This was the wrong time and place to be playing Happy because it was just hours after the synagogue shooting. 11 people dead at the Pittsburgh synagogue.
And you walking
and you happy. Oh, you happy. You happy, all right. You read the cease and desist. Don't ever play my song again.
As soon as I heard the song, you know we gonna touch on it, honey. We be on top of it.
Yes, we do, because this was another example of Donald Trump worried about the wrong thing.
But Pharrell, shout out to you for, sticking up for
some
the
people
cause.
could have just kept going, about their day.
Yeah, and he actually kind of did something because I've never really heard Pharrell speak out too much, and sometimes it's about actions. You don't necessarily have to say anything.
Breaking news.
What? Oh, I was gonna say
Oh wow.
So our next, while we're on it, because our next graduate was Oprah Winfrey. She's the top, but Will Ferrell and all these other celebrities who are in support of Stacey Abrams, the Democratic Party candidate for the Georgia governor seat. And
she's been campaigning with her door to door, marketing, all types of stuff, trying to get out there and get people to vote. They said they did see an increase in voters after Will Ferrell and Oprah got out there, so that's good for Stacey Abrams. But 3 hours ago, we're getting reports that Georgia voters are getting insanely racist robocalls impersonating Oprah.
Now, last week, y'all know we touched on the Andrew Gillum, the Florida governor, Democratic candidate, who, that people were receiving racist robocalls of him, and we played a clip. We played a clip of those last week, and now what are they saying?
This is the magical Negro, Oprah Winfrey,
asking you to make my fellow Negress,
Stacey Abrams, the governor of Georgia.
Years ago, the Jews who own the American media saw something in me, the ability to trick dumb white women into thinking I was like them, and to do, read, and think what I told them to. I see that same potential in Stacey Abrams, where others see a poor man's
Aunt Jemima, girl.
I see someone white women can be tricked into voting for, especially the fat ones. And I'm done with that. I'm done with that. It's 2018. It's 2018. It said the message promised voters who select Abrams that everybody gets a car. Y'all know that meme where she's pointing at everybody like, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Bro, they childish.
This is crazy.
Getting out of control.
I guarantee these are the same people who put out the racist robocalls with Andrew Gillum last week. Because just the word, this is the magical Negro, Oprah Winfrey, asking you to make my fellow Negress. I've never heard that term in my life. Are you my Negress? I've never heard that term in my life, but okay. Lord, y'all want to impersonate Negresses and call them Aunt Jemima. Wow. I really hope she wins.
I do too.
I really hope Stacey Abrams wins because I'm going to be turned up, okay? Because they out here doing the most to suppress voting.
They're just doing the most
and
to
discourage people
of color to not vote and to not try to. This is getting pathetic.
Oh, and then Brian Kemp gonna try and comment on the calls, call them vile and contrary to the highest ideals of our state and country. I know he ain't talking because he was the one who was suppressing votes.
No, really. But the least you could do was actually make a statement.
Comment. Yeah.
That's wow. You did right by making a statement, honey.
But Oprah's doing her thing. Will Ferrell, everybody who's out there, on the front lines, knocking door to door, during their free time.
Yep, and people making the subliminal messages, like when LeBron came here and had the Beto hat on. People had something to say about that. But, it's awesome to see people who are still in tune a little bit with their community, even though they have money.
Right.
They're pushing to have people come in office that do affect the average person. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't really affect them too much. But for them to take time out to think about others, that's cool.
And it's working. I mean, they saw record numbers after they got out there and did it. So
our next graduate of the week is Al Roker. So you guys, whoever watched the Today Show, when I was little, Al Roker, he's big back then. He used to do the weather and stuff on the Today Show. They actually replaced him with Megyn Kelly back on the Today Show. And for Halloween this past week, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Back to the Future. That movie came out in the 80s, a little before my time.
I watched everybody knows about Back to the Future.
Yeah, so Al Roker came as, I forgot it's Christopher, I can't think of his real name, but it was him and Michael J. Fox, I believe, who are in Back to the Future. He came as the crazy doctor. I don't know his name. We're about to look at it because I can't tell you. Like I said, that movie a little bit before my time. I don't even know his name. I don't know his Doc name. Brown. Thank you. See, these 80 movies know. Doc Brown. So he got some backlash for it because they said people were saying that in the midst of what was going on with Megyn Kelly, that he would come in a costume of a white person. The issue is with people who are trying to knock Al Roker for this, he didn't come in whiteface. He came as himself. They're missing the message.
They're missing the message because what Megyn Kelly said was that it's okay to dress in blackface as long as it's a character. So they must really believe that.
Exactly.
They must really believe
it's okay
that.
for you as long as you're painting your face and you're impersonating
a character.
Yeah, that it's okay. Al Roker came as that character, but he was still himself. He put a wig on, had the costume on, and that was it. And then his co-host was Michael J. Fox. I believe that's who was in that movie.
Yep.
That, like I said, that movie came out in probably the mid-'80s.
Right.
So, where was the issue? There was
his face was not white. He did not go and
paint his face white. He was himself, and I think that was a very subtle message to send to prove a point. I can be in character and not have to paint my face white to look like Christopher Lloyd in this movie to be Doc Brown for Halloween.
That's what he said. He said, I can be Doc Brown and wear the outfit and the wig and not change my skin color. And if you're white, you can be President Obama if you want. Just don't color your skin.
And that's why, like you said, exactly, people don't listen because they want to argue. They just want to be the ones to kind of come out and have a problem. Mm-hmm. Everything ain't a problem. Everything ain't about you. Listen, that's how I know that people in this country haven't grown. Is that the right word to use? Because you guys want to argue something that's null and void. Like, what are you guys arguing for? I actually liked it. I thought it was cute. You know, I'll show the picture again of them two. The lady, actually, to me, she did look like Michael J. Fox a little bit. I thought it was awesome.
They looked cute.
They looked really good. I think that was probably one of the best Halloween costumes.
That's not disrespectful
at all. I think that was one of the best Halloween costumes I've seen on social media. I think they did a great job. So shout out to you, Al Roker. I've loved you since you was big in the early 90s when you was on the Today Show. I've been rocking with you. So shout out to you.
And our next graduate is this cheerleader, the 49ers cheerleader that kneeled during the national anthem
on Thursday.
I'm looking here. It looks like she was the only one to kneel by herself.
They still haven't identified her? Dang God.
Yeah, they're not even identifying her name. Wow.
And as far as everyone knows, she is the first cheerleader in the NFL to actually kneel during the national anthem. Mm-hmm. And this is 2018. People have been protesting since 2016. So shout out to you, girl.
Shout out to you, girl. We'll get the name one day.
Yeah, and we'll shout you out again. And our last graduate of the week is Naaman Jr. Mm-hmm. He is a soccer player for the St. Germain Football Club, and he is helping launching and promote the world's largest inclusive school for disabled children to be students and teachers. The program is called Teacher Kids, and I think he was one of the first actual students. He said that he learned how. But with this program, he learned how to do like relaxation techniques. Oh, cool. And he learned something else. Very. I'll actually pull up a picture of him. Yeah. While we're doing this,
I've never really watched soccer.
I don't watch soccer, and that was kind of interesting to see. I've never even heard of him. Neymar Jr.
He said he partnered with Handicap International to launch the initiative, and it's called Teachers Kids.
And I would love to be a part of something like that. I think it's cool like that, because like you said, there's not a lot. Like, I feel like people with disabilities don't get enough. In 2018, we don't do enough.
He said there's 32 million disabled kids that don't have access to school, yet they have so much to teach us.
And they do. And this is him.
Neymar.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's all it says, Neymar Jr. He said a boy with Down syndrome gave him lessons in relaxation. A blind girl showed him how to make origami hearts, and a young amputee taught a dance class. And if I can join this school, I will be one of the first ones.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, so shout out to you for even promoting and pushing that, because there's a lot of people didn't know about it. I just so happened to run across it online. I have not seen any media attention on this at all. So we'll keep you guys informed as we're informed with it. But shout out to you, and those were our graduates for this week. Yes. We had more than that one week when we only had like one. You know, we had a page full of flunkies. But enough of that. We will go into our sports section this week. Woo! Which has been a lot going on in sports this week. If you guys have been keeping up, you know, this is our playground.
Yes.
This is our love, our
Yes.
passion. So the first thing we're gonna start off with is
the
Cleveland.
city of Cleveland.
Cause baby, they getting rid of everybody. You fired.
Everybody
you
get
all
fired.
Everybody getting a catch.
Everybody getting the
Everybody
L.
gotta get out.
Everybody gotta go.
Get out.
Because
So this
the
week,
Browns ain't win. The Cavs ain't winning.
child, Tyronn Lue gone. Damon Jones gone. Hugh Jackson gone. And they fired another, maybe the offensive coordinator or the quarterback coach from the Browns gone. Bye.
Cleveland is not the place to be.
House. They are cleaning
the place to be
house.
right now.
Now, granted, you know, Hugh Jackson, he's had a couple years to come. I feel like they were doing better. I mean, they were progressing. The Browns were progressing, but I guess maybe it wasn't where the organization wanted them to go.
Right.
I mean, all these overtime games and stuff they've been going.
I mean, but he was like, what was he like, 2-32 or something?
Yeah,
he's
been there like 3 years.
He should have been gone a long time ago. I'm sorry.
Probably last season. Because I think this was his third year there, third or fourth year. So
he should have been gone. And Ty Lue should have been gone mid-season last year.
But,
if you ask me. But I think LeBron was protecting him for some reason. And he was not coaching. Ty Lue was not coaching. In my opinion, he was not coaching. And he still wasn't coaching this year, and it was very evident.
And while
we're at it, J.R. Smith, he publicly demanded a trade. Let me see if I can play this. He wants out of Cleveland. He's tired of their stuff.
Him and Kyle Korver have been completely removed out of the rotation.
But, I mean, rightfully so, though. Right? To me, rightfully so. Your numbers, I mean, you were playing, 20-plus minutes per game and only averaging 2 points, JR. So, and your contract or his salary, with his salary, he's going to be hard to trade. They overpaid them people in Cleveland, right? Including Tristan Thompson and Kyle Korver, and it's just gonna be hard to trade. So you're not gonna play,
right? And they told the what was it, Altman?
Kobe Altman, yeah.
He gave him an option to either take a leave of absence or just stay around the team because he is out the lineup. He needs to sit down.
Rightfully needs to be out the lineup. You're not producing.
And the reason why which is one of the reasons they say Tyronn Lue got let go of, is because they told him to remove JR and Kyle Korver completely out of the rotation, put the young guys in, and let's see what they got. Yep. Because we are already 0-6 at that time. We're 0-6. Just take them out and let's see what's gonna happen. Right. Tyronn continue after one game. I guess he didn't like what was going on with the rookies and stuff, and he decided to put them in without consulting the GM and the Altman and stuff. Yeah. And they was like, "Baby, we not finna. LeBron ain't here now, so we finna let you go."
Exactly. Like, he need to go. You haven't coached in years. Mm-hmm. He had the luxury of having LeBron on his team and being able to pull through. And the bad contracts is the main reason why they can't move them now. So you either take a leave of absence or you support the team and you sit on the bench. You're not the one that needs to be in the game.
I just don't understand.
Let me see if I can play this interview.
Defending blackface.
Wrong. Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly.
Mm-hmm. How do y'all feel about? I mean, I'm really surprised that Cleveland is cleaning house like this for their sport. They should, but I'm just surprised. I'm like, whoa, I should have been cleaning house like this.
It's too late. Yeah, a little too late.
Yeah, because we're in the middle of, football season. They right in the middle of that.
Yeah.
So
are you hoping for a trade? Yeah.
He talking low.
Have you expressed that to them?
They know.
How do they know?
I mean, they don't want me to, so.
And you know what?
He said they don't want to trade. They don't want me here.
They know they don't want me here.
So let me go.
And the thing is, he been in the league long enough to be professional about it. That's my thing. Like, don't be like a little kid that ain't getting what they want. Like, be professional.
But y'all, this the same man. He was mentally checked out when he messed up the other day. During that game one.
That game one, I don't think he can bounce back from that.
No, he's mentally, he be up and down. He's so inconsistent. So,
JR.
we'll see what happens.
He
I don't think
early.
no, he might have to because ain't nobody gonna pick up that contract.
No,
so I don't know.
wouldn't.
I don't know. Maybe he can transition to a coach or something. I don't know.
No, they hoping LeBron save them. That's what they want. No, we got other issues. Leading us to Derrick Rose
Dropping 50.
He dropped 50 this week, which is good for him. You know, he's had the battle with the injuries and
right.
personal things happening in his life.
I feel like
outside of basketball.
That was vintage D Rose.
It really was. He was in his
D.
bag. Like, he was going full speed, dribbling, spinning, all types of stuff. Like, you could tell that he's mentally engaged in the game now. And maybe he was worried about getting hurt
again.
or something because
be.
it's hard. It's hard after you get hurt and have to come back because you're mentally weak. But just
and then especially because he's had both knee injuries.
Yeah,
correct? Like
he's had so much go on, and you know, last year he was disappearing from the team for days at a time and stuff like that.
Correct. And my mama said he is with Minnesota.
Maybe with
Jimmy Butler being gone.
Oh, he was out. He had to up his game.
Maybe it gave him the confidence to be like, okay, let me step up and show them what I still got.
Yeah,
because he's under Thibodeau. I mean, he played for Thibodeau too. Maybe Thibodeau had a talk with, like, hey, play your game. Like, Jimmy Butler's kind of out the picture right now. Like, you do you. I know you still have it in you. You need to believe in yourself. Maybe he's had confidence. It is obvious he's had confidence issues with those injuries he sustained.
Jimmy Butler was out and Jeff Teague was out, so he had to start at point guard and he had to basically handle the rock the whole game. So
yeah, had to fully recover.
Yeah, he had to fully recover, but let's just hope he back. You know what I mean? He back to being himself.
You're right. So I hope to see another vintage D Rose game.
I hope to.
It was very emotional to see him after the game crying, and then people. I think the fans were with him because he's just had a long road. So a former. Or ex-MVP as one of those. I don't know.
Some people were, some of the analysts, I think I told you this, some of the analysts were like, okay, like, why are you crying? Like, it's not a championship or whatever. And Skip Bayless and them was saying that.
Skip, you can't. Now, what, like, was that Jalen Rose asking what level of basketball did you play?
That was funny.
Like, what level did you actually get to? It's more of a personal thing. And I've been a D Rose fan, and he has some, like you said, he had some other issues.
I remember when he couldn't even walk straight. He walked like he was real bow-legged.
Yeah,
like,
he's only
and
29?
dribbled like he was real bow-legged. But now it looks like he's back to himself.
Yeah, he's 29, 30 years old. It's a personal thing. Like, people who haven't played at that level or understand injury like that, they won't understand.
They won't, and that's why I don't like when they put these analysts in these positions to talk crap, because that's what they're doing. They talking crap about players if they don't agree with how they play or how they carry themselves off the court. They talk crap about them, and I don't feel like somebody who has not been a part of the sport or played at a certain level should be
level other than high school.
Placed in a position to make those types of comments about a athlete
like that. Because let me tell you one thing that I've said before. You said it. We've had other people that we've hooped with that said it. If you ain't played more than high school basketball. So if you didn't play at the collegiate level at any time, even if you just tried out for the team in college, you ain't finna argue with me about basketball.
Oh yeah,
and I don't
argue with nobody about basketball.
If you didn't play at least at high school, at least if you played in high school, like I said, usually I'm not gonna argue with you if you didn't play at the collegiate level. Especially
collegiate level is for me,
because
like anybody could play at high school, but what was you doing after that?
Right, because
and was you getting offers, or did you walk on?
And even if you walk and even if you did walk on. Did you make? Like,
did you play?
Does your arguments match what you do your arguments match what you're trying to say? Just if you don't have any knowledge of the game, because there are some people that I'll look at their opinions and they didn't, they might have played sports at the high school level and that's it, but they have legitimate arguments. They have knowledge of all sports. Yeah, educated. It's not just remember that time I was arguing with that man about JR? When he did when he actually
the game one, yeah.
I'm arguing with you, baby. You didn't even play basketball. You're not finna argue with me on my post.
We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this. I do not argue. I just
argue with you.
Just let me know what level of basketball you played.
So just let me know. That way I can assess where your IQ is.
Right.
Because and when you play, and this is just the God honest truth, when you play collegiate sports, your IQ of all sports, in general, it expands. So and I'm saying that you could have played D1, D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO, because I played JUCO, D3.
First of all, JUCO be having some good ball players. They just can't make the grades. Most of them can't make the grades. That's why they're at JUCO.
Right, and a lot of people don't know that JUCO is D1, D2, D3. Because I
went to
a because I went to a D1 JUCO as well as she did. Yeah. JUCOs aren't just it's a community college / junior college. No, there's levels.
There's levels to this.
It's NJCAA.
Exactly.
1, 2, and 3.
And we was D1, baby.
So, you're not gonna argue with me. You're not.
At all.
And I know it's intimidating.
And I just don't, and them people that Girl, I don't want to say this because people gonna say something.
We're gonna go to the Cowboys.
When you play with somebody and they really wasn't all that, they wasn't that good, but they always talking like they was good. Hey, Maryville.
Hey, Maryville. Sorry I missed out yesterday. I got back too late. I owe you one.
But
I owe you one.
You know how people be talking like they was good or whatever and then make points on social media, and I just be looking at them like, girl, you know nothing. Or, boy, you know nothing at all. And that goes for men too. Men too, because I can't respect your basketball debate or whatever you're bringing up if you didn't play, collegiate basketball. If you didn't play it, minutes, actual minutes, I can't. We're not gonna debate
at any level. Child, we're gonna skip to the Cowboys.
So we'll go to the Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys.
Y'all Cowboys.
Sorry. Oh yeah,
y'all Cowboys.
Y'all Cowboys. Yeah.
Cause they not mine.
They not mine either. But they fired their offensive line coach, Paul Alexander, and hired Hudson Houck, who was sitting at home in retirement, and somehow they feel like he gonna come in and be the Lord and Savior. But
did Jerry make that big announcement the other day that he announced that he was gonna make? He made an announcement about a big announcement that he was gonna make, but I haven't heard anything about that announcement.
I don't think he did, and he was like, I got a big announcement or something like that. Maybe they gonna bring Dez back. This was the announcement?
Who is it?
Gil Brandt as 22nd member of Cowboys Ring of Honor. Don't nobody care about that. Nobody cares about that. Jerry worried about the wrong thing.
His name is Jarrell. I didn't know Jerry Jones' name was Jarrell.
Jarrell.
Oh, that's a little ghetto.
I
thought his name was Jerry.
His name is Jarrell. Jerral.
Jarrell Wayne.
Jarrell Wayne
or Jarrell Wayne.
Jarrell Wayne.
That's why Jerry got a thing with us like that.
He's mad because he got that black name.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Jarrell Wayne.
Jarrell Wayne. No, Jerry, bro, he be wildin'.
Jerry be wildin'. But he fired the offensive line coach, and to me, that's saying that you're thinking something's wrong with your coaching and not Dak's ability.
But why is Jason? We'll see what happens with Jason Garrett after this season.
Coach Clapper.
Did you see that man?
Miss a field goal.
Did you see that man that was Jason Garrett for Halloween?
Yes, it was so good. It was so
clapping,
good. Clapping
and clapping. I don't know.
Coach Clapper.
They are very inconsistent, and they're going to continue to be inconsistent.
They are.
We'll see what happens with Amari Cooper. I wonder if he's going to play tomorrow, because like when you trade, you get
it was a bye week.
Yeah, so maybe they gave him a week to learn some plays so they can get him in the lineup.
They said that instead of Dak going on his little escapade or traveling for the bye week, he stayed back to help Amari Cooper learn some plays.
That's the least that Dak could do.
Well, that was the leadership thing to do. But the only thing that's going to make this trade work with Amari Cooper is if Dak can get him the ball. Get him the ball. And y'all, that's my thing about them firing the offensive line coach. So that tells me that as an organization, they don't think that Dak is an issue.
Right. But you know what's crazy? Up until this year, I feel like everyone said that the Dallas Cowboys had one of the best O-lines in the league.
Exactly.
DeMarco Murray, all them yards that he received, he was getting when he was here, everybody chopped it up to the offensive line, not his skill set, because when he went to the Eagles, he wasn't doing that. And then when he went to, was it Tennessee? Either Tennessee or Jacksonville. He wasn't really putting up the numbers he was putting up here. Everybody chopped it up to the O-line. So why is it now the O-line is not doing, what they were doing? I'm not sure. The offensive line positions aren't the biggest. Even though they're very important, people don't necessarily know O-line. They don't know who the center is.
Right.
These different positions on the O-line. So I don't know if they got left tackle. I don't know if they got rid of some of those people and that like their O-line is completely different.
They're saying that a lot of them are injured or they're just coming back from injury, so they're not as polished as they were prior. But at the same time, Dak has an ability to run on foot. And he has been having people open down the field, and he's had time to get the ball to him, but the ball is not going to the receiver's hands. So,
Cowboy fans, y'all chime in and let us know what's going on with y'all organization.
Yeah, let us know what's going on.
I just kind of go with the home team kind of thing, but I'm not a Cowboys fan.
No,
it's just me.
Sticking with football, we had a couple trades this week. We had Golden Tate to the Eagles for a 3rd-round pick. Demaryius Thomas to Houston Texans for a 4th-round pick.
Bro, that's crazy. Demaryius Thomas nice, and he gonna line up with Hopkins.
So
Watson can get them to Houston. That might be kind of nice for them
for a 4th-round pick, and then Cowboys got Amari Cooper for a 1st round. And Clinton Dix to the Redskins.
And the Redskins probably will
come
out.
Y'all got How do you feel about getting Clinton Dix?
And I think the Redskins might come out the NFC East.
They looking real good. They looking good. The Redskins are looking really good this year, and I think Golden Tate makes the Eagles better as well. So I think everybody got better with these trades, and they didn't have to give up much.
Right, they didn't.
So the only team that really gave up something was the Cowboys. So, once again, boo-boo the fool.
I'm done.
Okay, so call a louder.
Okay, so, Derek, I don't know if you're still on here. We had to touch on your Giants real quick. I don't know if you know that I wouldn't even call them a backup because they still playing Eli like they ain't got no backup. The rookie quarterback for the Giants actually got arrested over a traffic incident last week. Kyle Lalada? I think he was wilding with the police. Change from Eli still likely. I mean, he was wilding. I'm not sure if he was getting into it with them. He sat in jail for 6 hours. And if you guys aren't with me... I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with what because I never even seen this man, to be honest. I never seen him. I didn't even know that the Giants had a rookie quarterback because all you know is Eli.
Grace said the Redskins losing right now.
Oh, are they? Yeah, I heard. Derek told me, I heard.
But they say the Giants are still supporting him, even though he got in all these issues.
He's young. I will say that. I have a picture of him. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly.
There's Kyle, the latter.
He will be, I mean, they won't bench Eli at all, so y'all will never see him. Unless you're a Giants fan, you would know nothing about him. But what did he get pulled over for, and why did he sit in jail for 6 hours? Because I don't know what he did exactly to get pulled over, and why he was wilding like that, and why he went to jail. Lucky he was white. Boy, you better preach.
Yeah.
Because, if that would have been Gino would have been under the jail.
He was charged with eluding police and resisting arrest. And he's still alive.
He plans to fight any criminal charges, and the Giants believe that their round pick was open and honest with them about the situation, and they haven't soured him.
They say he disobeyed a police officer on the scene.
That's that white privilege. We're not going to even keep on talking about
And sources say that he did not act in a belligerent manner.
I bet he did. But compared to what we would consider...
Yeah, because he would have been killed on sight doing all that.
We won't even keep talking about him. Next, Le'Veon still ain't showed up.
Le'Veon Bell.
He has... Now, at this point, he has missed out on $7.7 million of his salary this season. Yes, ma'am, because he was franchise
He is
tag.
not playing.
He's not playing with the Steelers, and they playing decent now. They've kind of found a rhythm without him at this point. So
yeah,
I don't know what's next. They can't trade him, so I guess he's just gonna sit. He's not gonna report, and he's just gonna sit out, and they're just gonna release him at the end of the season. I'm not understanding what's going on with this. Has he made any statements?
This is an unusual occurrence.
That's because I know $7 million.
Yeah.
He done gave up $7 million. He's serious. He's serious. What's gonna happen? Like I don't know. Like you said, I don't think I've ever seen this before. So I don't know
so we just
this
have to
goes.
sit back and watch and see like how they're gonna, reprimand him or
right. Does he get fined for not showing up?
Happened?
Can the Steelers fine him for this? Like what happens? I'm not that familiar. If he doesn't show up by the 13th, he can't play at all. Okay, which probably wouldn't bother him. What's that? So that's next. He has another week to show up. But if he shows up, does he have to play, or he just has to report? He has to be
practicing and just on the sideline,
right? Like
they can't make him go in the game or nothing,
right? And at this point, they've already found the rhythm without you, so it's not like they're going to play him,
right?
Hey, Tyree, where you been at? Football been having too much. They've been doing too much this week. That's.
Oh, child, things are gonna get easier.
I'm done. So our open discussion for this week, we'll roll into it, is, we kind of touch on the WNBA a little bit, quite a bit.
Yeah.
So our thing this week, the WNBA players opted out of the CBA for better conditions and higher pay. So our question to you guys is, what do you think the future is of the WNBA?
And my answer is, I don't think there's a future.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
I'm so serious. Like, I know you have the facts, but I'm so serious. Where you're opting out, but where is the money coming from? Because the popularity is not there.
Right.
The money's not flowing into the league. So where is the money coming from?
And y'all opted out, but can you guys come to an agreement? I guess y'all have a year to figure that out, close to a year. So a couple facts that I have, Adam Silver, which is the NBA commissioner, I guess the NBA has kind of taken the WNBA under their wing.
Child.
He said this past season, the WNBA lost $12 million.
$12 million.
They've been losing money over the last 22 years, which is pretty much the lifespan of the WNBA, at least $10 million a season. So y'all know what the numbers are if y'all can multiply and add, subtract, and all that. The top salary for a veteran player in the WNBA is $115,000. The end is near. The WNBA's Player Association president, Miss Agumake, I can't remember. Agumake, I have to be messing their name up. I'm not sure which sister it is because there are two of them. That's
Omeka.
I think it is Omeka. She said she wants to fight for a better league for the future. She stated she's an elite athlete. She's a mother. She's a daughter. She's a player. And she wants to fight for more from them. They also, the WNBA does not have a president right now / commissioner. They resigned last month. Oh, these are facts. So I'm just speaking. This is all facts. So this ain't an opinion right now at all. This is straight facts.
My question to Nneka Ogwumike is, do you know these facts? Like, do you know that they're losing $10 million a season?
Right. It says the 12-team league has been around 22 years and has lost money. The NBA, which owns 70% of the WNBA, the league operated at a $12 million loss. Which is what I said. Adam Silver made that statement. They lost $12 million last year, but every year is at least $10 million they've lost.
When you have Cynthia Cooper trying to coach at the NBA, you know it's over.
Don't say that.
Oh my God.
Greg childish. And you're right, the popularity is not there. I don't know why. I see what we've always said. I know we did a midweek MOSA like last week when we kind of touched on it. And the revenue, it goes to numbers, and I hate to say it like that because people be like, well, you don't know much about numbers. You're right, I don't know too much, but I do know it's simple arithmetic, as the old folks say. Simple arithmetic. If you're not bringing in enough money, I can't pay you more.
Pay you more money?
I can't pay you more than I can't remember who.
So this is what this is what I feel they should have did. That would have been more feasible and more approachable. Is understand that they're losing money every year, right? They should have came with a plan to make more money, not opt out and say give us more money. You know what I mean? Help them, help y'all.
Cause I'm trying to figure out like what is considered vet in that league. Now that information I don't have. Like how many years do you have to be in the WNBA to be considered a vet to get that vet minimum?
Let's use Candace Parker because she's been in quite.
Or Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird would probably definitely be considered a vet.
Let's see her salary.
Which got to be the 115. Diana Taurasi's probably making the vet minimum. Simone Augustus, maybe Maya Moore might be. The average salary is $77,000.
$77,000.
I'm not sure what's considered she's worth $5 million. I'm not.
So the maximum veteran salary is.
It said 115, isn't it? Or is it more than that?
115, but see, I know for sure Brittany Griner goes overseas and she makes millions. Her and Diana Taurasi make millions playing for Russia. So why not just go do that?
I guess because they want to stay at home, but it's like, where does the money generate from? Like with the with the NBA, they have a lot of endorsements,
fan base, sponsorships.
They have a lot of sponsorships, and they did the revenue with
the players bring in the revenue. You notice that? Like big names, Harden, Westbrook, KD, LeBron, they're bringing in money.
And I think that the WNBA might need to sit down with the college, like the Big 12 and the SEC and just the NCAA in general to push women's basketball, because women have to go 4 years before they can go to the league, if I'm not mistaken, correct? And if you have to do that, y'all have to go hand in hand with them, because obviously it starts somewhere else, because a lot of these big name players that we know in the NBA, like the games aren't selling. You're right, they're not selling out.
And you're not selling out, and the ticket's $5.
Right, but when you think about people that you've been watching forever, your LeBrons, your Anthony Davis. I watched Kentucky.
Yes.
I mean your Lonzo. So we can go into current day. Your Jason Tatum's, your Lonzo's, your Marquise Fultz and like people like that. We watched them in college. We were big in college with it. Ben Simmons. We were big in college. We could tell you where they went to school at, and we followed them. The only people I can tell you off the top of my head with the WNBA, Gino.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't go to UConn, you know, Skylar Diggins, okay, we know she went to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I mean, Candace Parker went to Tennessee, but God rest her soul, past Summit ain't been there in how long?
But see, that's still...
You know what I'm saying? It was just only a couple schools with those WNBA players that filtered out. that those schools that they went to that you kind of followed up with. Like I said, your Candace Parker's. Like,
Yeah.
I used to watch Simone Augustus. She went to LSU. But Simone Augustus went to LSU in like the early 2000s. When the last time you seen a big, huge name
But ain't
come out of
nobody
LSU?
nobody's watching women college basketball either.
What was it? I mean, but see, right now the WNBA is paired with the NBA. The
They
NBA
are.
has taken them under their
wing,
umbrella.
and they lost $12 million.
70% of the WNBA stuff is under the NBA to try to keep it afloat, because I believe if the NBA wouldn't have stepped in, the league would have been gone already.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly when they stepped in.
When I talk to people about women's basketball, it's like they say it's not exciting to watch. You know, you're not dunking, you're not windmilling, you're not doing like freak of nature type stuff.
Which sucks, because women's basketball is much more fundamental. It is fun to watch. Like when we go to the Wings games, they are fun to watch. It's fundamental. You can see some good basketball, but it's like the promotion's not really there. I don't know what they can do.
Is it fun? Is it fun to watch if the tickets are $100+?
I would never. And I say this because, you know,
because I always pay over $100 to go to an NBA game, and that's fun to me.
But the WNBA games, like we said, you know, the Dallas team, they don't play in a big facility. They couldn't play in.
And then you don't know the whole team. You know how you watch an NBA team, you know at least 5 players off of it. Mm-hmm. Unless it's like Brooklyn or Phoenix or something like that.
Everybody's a phenom. I'm not going to say everybody's a phenom, but everybody kind of makes a name for themselves prior to getting in the league. You know, you might know the first 2 rounds of NBA draft picks each year. Or some names out of there like, oh, you know, I watched that school. Yeah, I seen them, you know.
Right.
With the WNBA, the first 3 or 4 picks is about all you know each year.
That's it. And then, like, when we go to the Wings games, who is that?
Right.
Who is that starting?
Girl.
You know, like, you'll know the big Post and Skylar.
Skylar, which, like, in Dallas, Skylar. That's
but everybody else is like, who is that?
The promotion, I don't even know at this point, where do you get the money?
I think it's the entertainment value that's taking them down.
Too many. Right, they're not going to continue to take the loss on that. So what happens? Like, they don't even have a president/commissioner, so they got to start from there. Y'all opted out, but y'all don't even have a president of the WNBA. Like I said, the owners aren't making money. Which, you know, this is the sad part. The Tulsa, they were Tulsa shot, correct? Before they came to Dallas. They came to Dallas because they definitely weren't making no money in Tulsa. So they had to come to Dallas to even try to get some more revenue in.
And you know they're not making money because they utilizing a college gym.
And I can't honestly tell you that they sell that out. I hate to say it like that. And we go to at least one or 2 games a year. I really hope they can come with some type of solution. They should
have prepared themselves better for this, because I think, you know, instead of just opting out.
Why do you think they're wrong for pulling the team out of Tulsa? Can you? I know it might take a second for your answer, Derek, but why do you think they're wrong? Because I don't think Tulsa's a good market. Because what other than Oak, and that's in Oak City, what teams? And so other than the Sooners and maybe OSU, they don't have any professional teams there other than the Thunder, and that's in Oak City. So why do you think they're wrong? Because, like, there wasn't no money getting made in Tulsa.
They ain't making no money here either.
Which they aren't, but it's a more feasible market than it is in Tulsa. Because ain't nothing in Tulsa. Like, I mean, and it might be something that I'm missing and that I don't understand when it comes to numbers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm really asking. I don't know. I think I honestly think they could have left them up in Tulsa. Yeah, not a big market. That's why. But see, that's why you leave them in Tulsa. That team would have been disbanded. What? How long have they been in Dallas now? Dallas Wings been in Dallas 3 years maybe. Mm-hmm. Within 3 years, if it would have stayed in Tulsa, that team would have been gone.
Well, they about to be gone now.
Nothing to draw the. Yeah, like, how do you? So where, like, you know, what should they do to draw a crowd and draw fans? And is it too late?
Yeah, it is too late. It has to be some type of entertainment value to market off of, and I mean, you can only show so many clips of Brittany Griner dunking or Candace Parker dunking.
Is there anybody else in the league that can be a face front for them? We have your Skylar Diggins, we have your Brittany Grinders, which they're in between our age. They're my age, in between, in our generation, to say like, so what can they do? What do you guys think the WNBA can do to bring in revenue to push the league? Like you said, there was something that they spoke on about better conditions. They were talking about traveling, like how they can't do. I mean, like who was it? The Las Vegas.
Yeah. What didn't they have to cancel a game?
They had to cancel a game because they couldn't even get there. Deladon. Actually, where did that statement go? Deladon said, we absolutely do not get promoted as our counterparts do. Yes, I'm talking about the NBA. But where does you have to pay for that. You have to pay for promotion.
This is what I'm talking about. Like now you see why men look at women like this. Because they're not thinking before they speak.
Pair the games up. So like in college and high school, so you telling me like when the Los
You talking about NBA games.
So listen to this. So like Greg, I just want to make sure so you can say yay or nay to what I'm saying. So when the Lakers play at 6:30, we'll say this, LA Sparks play at 6:30, then the Lakers play at like 8:30?
Yeah, but wouldn't nobody tune in till 8:30? It's still the same thing.
Is that what you're saying? Because
I
now
think
you're
that's
putting
what he's saying.
Now you're putting them in the Staples Center, and they might have maybe 1,000. I don't know. I'm just saying.
They already play in the Staples Center.
Oh, do they play?
Yeah,
I didn't know the Sparks play in the
they already play in the Staples Center, but it's still that's not gonna bring more people in until the fourth quarter.
Right, I was just gonna say pair the games.
So does that make you have to buy does the ticket include the WNBA ticket? Like when you buy the
NBA,
because when you come, you would have to kick somebody out the seat. You know what I mean?
Right. So maybe that's an idea. If you pair the women to the men in their city, if that's possible. So like the Wings and the Mavericks. Okay, like you said, you pair the games up. So the Mavericks play at 7:30 on the Thursday night.
Ticket
then
includes
that means
the price for both games.
It includes the price for both, but then that means that the Wings have to play at like 5:30. So how much would you actually put in at the American Airlines Center? How much would you charge a ticket? So let's say that Dallas is playing somebody sorry. Let me think of somebody. Brooklyn. So if Dallas is playing, does Brooklyn, there's only 12 WNBA teams. Does Brooklyn even have, who do they have in New York that's a team? I thought Myra Morris.
It's still not enough.
It's not. Just because, but you gotta think that two people had to try to put the league on their back, and I haven't really heard Maya Moore say anything.
Deladon ain't even. I mean, Deladon is impressive to watch. She hasn't.
Brianna
Stewart is impressive to watch. It's not.
I mean, there's some people in there. There's some people in there that. I mean, I think that is a good idea, Greg. Maybe pairing the game.
That's the best idea
There's
I've
only
heard.
12, so like you got the Spurs and the Silver Stars. You can pair them up. But like you said, do you include the
moment it start hurting the NBA, it's gonna get axed.
Cause the only thing, let's just say hypothetically speaking, there's only 12 teams in the WNBA. So let's say the Silver Stars play. Minnesota's a pretty good team, but I can't even think of some. We'll say Dallas, but San Antonio. So the Silver Stars are playing the Wings, but that night San Antonio's playing Golden State. The tickets for Golden State and San Antonio finna shoot up because people want to see KD. They want to see Steph. So how much more do you implement? Because like you said, the seating. Okay, if I bought a front row seat for a Silver Stars game, that might be $75. Yeah. But if I want a front row seat for a Golden State,
$10,000.
I mean, you're gonna be taxing. So how does that work?
He said 10%.
Boy, you can't, because like there's only 12. You have to match up. Okay, with 12 teams in the league, you have to match up which teams pair up with. If they don't have, like Dallas has two teams, they have a WNBA and an NBA. LA has a WNBA and NBA. I guess Minnesota. I don't even know if the Lynx and the Timberwolves are in the same city. Chicago has a team, correct? I mean, It's possible, but that was something
They could
that's
at
something
least,
they would have to sit down at the drawing board and figure out.
My issue with their demands is it's like they're not taking the business side of it into account. Like,
because that's just what
you need money to give people money. You have to be bringing in excess
revenue.
of money. Yeah, you can't be losing money because you're paying more money out. Now, if you're losing $12 million a season, then obviously you're not able to give people pay raises. It would be feasible to give pay cuts in order to cover that $12 million gap.
Deficit that they have. Every year that they coming into. So they coming into a $10 to $12 million deficit every year.
This is why I say that we as women, and I'm not saying that we always speak out of turn, but I think that women have to be really strategic with how we present things that we want to work in our favor. Like when we opt out of something, we need to come with our whys and how we can do better, or how the organization can do better by women.
Where the money can come
where
from.
we think the money can come from.
Because at this point, that's where it's at.
That's
right?
where it's at.
We want more money, but now when I come to the table, I have to show you where the money can come from.
Where's it going to come from?
Because at this point,
can we take away? Can we take away from something so we can get paid more? Just come with something. Just don't say.
Like, have you heard any of the I don't know exactly who are the WNBA owners. Like if they must have other. They must have their hands in other things, because I don't hear a lot of their owners speaking out on stuff. You know what I'm saying? As far as money wise, because that means their owners are losing money too.
Yeah, they are. But
every year,
just like they're going overseas after the season over, or teaching, or coaching, or whatever,
or working out.
I'm sure that the GMs and all of them have other jobs as well. So I'm really hoping that a solution
can be created.
Mm-hmm.
They have a little bit of time. They do say that the league, as far as attendance, did grow between 2016 and 17, so maybe that's an up and up for them.
Deladon. I think Deladon came out that draft. No, not.
She came out in like 2013.
Breanna Stewart in there?
Or 14. Yeah, they might have came out like 16. I think Breanna Stewart came out like 16. So, thank you for participating with that open discussion this week. That's something that me and Ashley have been talking about.
Yeah.
Trying to kind of figure out.
It's always something different every time we talk about it, because, it deals directly with, we don't play in the WNBA, but because we love basketball so much, we feel like it directly impacts us as well.
Right, it's because we do support the WNBA. Yes. We go to games when they're here in Dallas and stuff, so it's not like we're not out of tune with it.
Our minds are trying to come up with things that could help these women out, but it's just, you have to
revenue.
You have to bring the money in.
Money
That's first.
Money is money. Business is business. Like, it ain't no way around it. Like, you can love somebody to death, but when the money, you know what I'm saying? You can love the league to death, but the money ain't there. That's all it is. Like, it's just, I'm losing money. Like, the other part of it is gone, because the business aspect it means a little bit more. So,
right.
Thank you guys for, kind of participating with that.
Mm-hmm.
And we are towards the end of our show. We had a couple things to kind of touch on. Early voting is over.
Yeah.
So Tuesday is the last day to vote. If you're into voting, awesome. Go vote on Tuesday. If you're not into voting, then that's on you. Don't say nothing when stuff don't go your way. Or if you don't care, like I said, if you don't care, then you don't care. That's on you. Everybody got their own personal opinion.
Right.
But like Ashley said Thursday, if you didn't tune into our midweek Mosa, Ashley was saying she's because my tag's
out. If anybody needs a ride on Tuesday, I'm willing to take you to the polls. Just know where your poll is and where you need to be voting at and what time you're going to go, and I'll be willing to take you to the polls on that day. Also, we were going to talk about, what was it?
Our holiday. Yeah, our last thing, our holiday coat and hygiene product drive. I guess that's what we'll call it. The Miseducation of Senae Ashley drive that we got going. There is a facility, a place in Arlington that both of us have like a special place in our hearts for. It's called the Arlington Life Shelter. It's similar to a homeless shelter, but it has a little more... what's the word I'm looking for? It has more attributes than a normal homeless shelter, and they need different like coats and of course blankets hygiene products in particular. But this place here, they usually hold about 75 to 80 people with your families, men and women and children. And we want to do something while we're in the holiday season for them that we can donate. We're definitely going to donate stuff as far as money. We're going to go buy stuff. We're planning on starting it today, so it's rolling out today. We mentioned it in our midweek most on Thursday, but today is like the official day that we will be accepting donations, coats, blankets. When we say hygiene products, we're talking about soap, women hygiene products, deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrushes, feminine products, anything that you can donate to us that we could take to the shelter. I will give you the exact date because we want to give it to them that week of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is on the 22nd, so the 18th is really the day that we want to have everything in that we could take up there and donate to that facility. It's a great facility. It's somewhere I've kind of had my hands in a little bit with me being in the social work grad program in UTA. So please feel free to reach out to us individually, Ashley and Senae on Facebook, our fan page, which will we check frequently. If you have anything, we will meet you. We will go to you to get these products so we can take it to them on the 18th. We'll keep rolling it out on our Facebook pages, our social media pages, and we'll keep touching on it every time we go live. So just please be mindful of that. So share this live, especially kind of touch on that because we want to do something for the holidays. So and I think it'll be a good thing for those people.
Yeah, give back to the people in need, and just for us to get out in the community and do our due diligence. But
yes, thank you, Deoshan. Thank you for everybody who
tuned in today. We're gonna
kind of close it down. We will say the first song we played earlier was actually a song called "I'm Dope" by Toby Nguyenwe, I can't really say it, featuring David Michael Watt. It's something I actually heard on Facebook. So if you guys want to know what that song was, I can send you the link to it. And then we're going to end with Nas' Simple Thing, which came out this year. I love Nas.
I love Nas.
So we will close with that. You know, if y'all have anything that y'all want us to touch on during our weekly Mosas, hashtag Mosa Sundays, just reach out to one of us in our fan page. And I guess that's it. That's all.
Yes, thank you for tuning in to the Miseducation of Senae and Ashley. Y'all make it a good week.
Y'all have a good one. See y'all later.
Bye.